Credit Union's tailgate auto loan sale. Save money with auto rates as low as 2.49 APR for 37 to 63 months. This applies to new or pre-driven cars and trucks. They also refi auto loans. Do more with your money and apply today. Call Newmark at 815-729-3211 or apply online at newmarkcu.org. That's NUMARKCU.org. This is a limited time offer. Some restrictions apply. Newmark Credit Union, where you are family. I'd like to also remind you that Newmark's been nice enough to give me a $25 Visa gift card to give away on the air to maybe you. So what you need to do is pay close attention to the next several minutes, and our guest and myself will be having a conversation about refinancing your mortgage and something. Well, he's going to say a lot of things that'll stick with me, but I'm going to pick one of those things out, ask you to repeat the question and the answer later on. And if you are the first correct caller on the Turk Furniture studio line at 815-254-7300, you are going to win a $25 Visa gift card. Harry Stewart is the Vice President of Mortgage Lending for Newmark Credit Union, and he joins us on the Turk Furniture studio line. Good morning, Mr. Stewart.
Hey, what's up, Scott?
Not
Long
much,
time
my
no
friend.
talk to
I
you,
know.
right?
It's been a few months, man. It's been a few months. I need to talk to the schedulers over there and tell them I need Harry more than once every 3 months or so.
Yeah,
Could all use
awesome.
could all use a little more Harry in our lives, right?
I don't know about that.
All right. Well, Harry is here, and if you can't tell, I've known Harry for a long time, done business with Harry, and just an all-around good guy. So that's why I can tease him the way that I do. All right, my friend. But for those who don't know you and aren't familiar with you, what is the role of Vice President of Mortgage Lending entail? What do you do every day?
Well, I lead the mortgage department. We've gotten we've grown over the years. I think when we first started doing these radio shows, we had like one or two people. Now we've got about 20 people in the department, and we're trucking along pretty good. Full service mortgage department. We've got a product almost for everybody. So it's kind of a testament to the staff that we have and our commitment to serving our members. So I couldn't be happier.
That's great. That's what it's all about. And I know they couldn't be happier with you as well, and your customers are. So let's go ahead and jump into the topic of the day here. Mortgage rates have been low for quite a while. Where are we right now?
You know what? They remain pretty low. I've seen 30-year fixed, maybe in the high twos, and 15 years in the low to mid twos. So they're still historically low. They're not as low as they were maybe at the beginning of the year. But I think there's a lot of anxiety and fear out there for inflation that might drive the rates up in the future. But I don't know. If I had a crystal ball, I'd probably be working in some massive investment bank, calling shots. But nobody knows what's going to happen next. Even when you think, they could go lower or they could spike up. Who knows? But they're still historically low, and people are taking advantage of the low rates.
All right. To that end, has this been the longest period, though, that they have been low? Okay, so they're not historically low right now, but they're close to it, and they have been. What has it been? Has it been 2 or 3 years?
Well, I think, it's been about that long, and they've been steadily coming down. I remember it had to be around 2000. I've been in the business a while, but it had to be in about 2000 or 2001. I remember quoting somebody a rate. It was like 7.375, and I couldn't believe the rates were that low. I'm like, we'll never see rates this low again. And right now we couldn't even do a rate that high. So I guess it's all relative. In the 80s, they were dealing with 15, 16% interest rates for mortgages. But they've, I guess, steadily been a decline since then. We've seen some spikes up 4 or 5%, but even then, it's still relatively inexpensive money.
Oh yeah, no doubt. So, question then circles back around: is it still a good time to refinance your mortgage?
I think it's all. I read somewhere. I can't even remember where I read it, but they said that 70% of people still haven't refinanced to take advantage of the lower rates. So if you're one of those 70%, I would definitely at least check out refinancing to see if you could lower your payment or your term. Right now, I'd say it's more about benefit. So if you're looking for that rate and term refinance to lower your payment, yeah, check that out. But other people are also taking cash out for home improvements. Really, a lot of people are buying new homes too, or trying to. Like I see a lot of people that you wouldn't think are looking for new homes, but they're putting their house up just because of a seller's market. And I know we haven't gotten to that yet, but it's a seller's market. A lot of these homes are going for a lot higher than they would have thought, and they're buying or moving into new homes. So
Sure.
I've seen a lot of that too.
Hey, Harry, you say only 30% have refi, so 70 haven't. Why have those other 70 haven't? Because they're just throwing money away.
Yeah, yes. Maybe a lot of people don't know, because like for I don't know, the last 5 years I've been, talking about refinancing. The rates are always low, they're always historically low, and so maybe it's one of those things where they feel like it'll always be there, and who knows, it might be, I don't have a crystal ball, but I would think inflation would have something to do with the rates eventually, and have the rates move up.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't know why. Maybe people are figuring, hey, I'm going to move anyway, or maybe I've only got 9 years left to pay on my mortgage, and sometimes it makes sense, sometimes it doesn't. Like I've quoted loans where I'm saving people money, even if it's a 0.5% reduction on their existing mortgage, but the balance is kind of high, so it makes sense. But I've also gone over or done an analysis for members that they might have a low balance mortgage, maybe around 100,000, and even dropping their rate 2 or 3% doesn't make sense because of the time they've already had in there. Because
Sure.
At the end of the day, it does come down to the payment, and if the payment's not going to change that much, why go through all of the hoops, just to refinance if it's not going to make a difference. But we look at everybody's situation individually and determine how we can best help everybody out.
Harry, you mentioned home. Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned home values in the area. Now we have a couple of different real estate programs on here. Brent Wilk and Eddie Rudiger do shows on Wednesday and Tuesday respectively. So I follow closely because I listen to those guys. They're both really good at this. And things have flattened out a little bit as far as the price is concerned. It's not as crazy as it was, say, 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago. Are you seeing the same thing?
Yeah. It looks like it's not as aggressive. It's not like everybody's meeting in the driveway of the house to bid up the price, but it's still there until the inventory comes back or the supply comes back. I'm sure it'll maintain or stay as a seller's market, but it's not. You're right. It's not as crazy as it was, where there's 19 offers in one day, and it could be the time of the year too.
Sure.
Most people are already starting school, and they're kind of getting into fall mode. Who knows what next spring will bring? February or March, and maybe it's another maddening merry-go-round, right?
That's a good point. That is a very, very good point. All right, let's get into the refining specifically now. So I'll just throw some questions at you. Why refi? Do you need to think about how long you're going to stay in your home, what the appraised value is? So kind of cover all that, generally speaking, please.
Well, basically, any type of mortgage loan, you're dealing with basically the 3 C's. Sometimes some places will say 4 or 5 C's, but basically it comes down to credit, capacity, and collateral. When we review borrowers, we call them members because you're members of the credit union, but when we review a member's financials, we're going to know their credit and their income right away, the capacity. The only thing that's going to really be a wild card is going to be the collateral or the appraised value. And sometimes when we run it through these automated systems, they'll say, yeah, the value is fine. Occasionally we'll have to send out an appraiser to do the appraisal and determine the value. But really, that's the only wild card as far as that goes. So it's really the easy. It's really that simple, credit, capacity, and collateral.
Okay, all right. Your appraised value on your home, does that affect the ability to refi?
Yeah, the more equity you have in the home, or the lower the loan to value, you're going to have more options available to you. When you start going over 80%, it brings in like different scenarios with mortgage insurance. But with rate and term, we try to make sure that we're avoiding that mortgage insurance if we can. Because that just adds another layer into the benefit that the members will get. But for the most part, the higher the appraised value or the more equity that you have in your home, it gives you a little bit more flexibility
Sure.
with your refinancing options.
Harry, without going through the appraisal, and you eventually have to if you are going to get the refi, but if people are just kind of wondering, hey, I wonder what my home is worth. I bought it 10, 12, 15 years ago, not quite sure what's it worth. How can they find that information out?
They've got different things online, like Redfin or Realtor.com or even Zillow. You could go in there and you could kind of get a decent idea of how much your home's worth. What I like to do, like on Zillow, I won't really look at, I guess they call it as estimate. I won't really look at that. Sometimes I'll dig a little bit deeper and I'll see like, hey, in this particular area, what homes like the one I'm looking up the value on have sold within the last 12 months, and I'll just see like which what sold for, and
Sure.
if everything's the same, 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bath. Next block over, one might have a finished basement, maybe ours doesn't. I could kind of get an idea of where the value's gonna land if we order an appraisal. So
Okay.
if you do like maybe I don't know 5-10 minutes worth of homework, it could save some headaches later.
That's good. That is a good thing. That is for sure. All right, let's talk about different types of mortgage options. How many are out there? And how do you find the best one for you too?
Like most of the time, people are going to stay with like a conventional fixed rate mortgage. That's really what we're gearing for. There's some streamlined programs with like FHA or VA IRRRL loans, which are great products too. But we always just try to stay with conventional fixed rate loans. I know a lot of people try ARMs, but at this point, if you're only saving a quarter point on the interest rate, I would say, why bother? Why not just do it one time, and get a fixed rate when it's available, and the difference isn't that much between the ARMs. So
all right.
That's kind of what we do, and we explore we'll look at everybody's scenario and we'll kind of pick the best option or steer people in the best direction for that suits their needs.
All right. You should consider closing costs as well. What are we looking at there?
Well, my general rule is like you want to save at least 1% off your mortgage rate and recover your closing costs in about 18 months. I would say closing costs are, it's negotiable, but I would say like standard refinance closing costs is about maybe $1,800 to $2,000. So it's not as much as a purchase, which is it always seems like it's a little bit higher with title fees for purchases.
Okay.
But refinances are relatively inexpensive.
Biggest mistake people make with their mortgage. What is it you see time and time again?
I would say just not checking into it. Maybe every couple of years to see if it makes sense for them to refinance. See if the rates have come down. See if they could save some money. So that's probably the biggest mistake, which would lean into that 70% that haven't refinanced since the rates came down.
Okay, all right. Why should, other than your incredible personality, is there an advantage to working with NuMark when refining your mortgage?
There's a huge advantage. I mentioned it kind of earlier, but we don't really have customers. Everybody's a member. Everybody, it's $5 in a savings account. You're a member, which is part owner of the credit union. Every member's an owner of the credit union. So we don't have like a big board of directors, hammering the desk for profit. We're non for profit, so everything that we do is a pass through to our members. So if I'm competing like with Chase, which they got a profit margin to hit, I have an advantage where I could do it as just a pass through service to our member. I'm not looking for that same profit. So to me, I think it's a huge advantage.
Okay.
My son's getting a mortgage in Dallas, and I'm like, to me, I don't care if he goes through me or not, but I let the other mortgage company know through the builder. I'm like, just so we're doing it as a pass through. So like, you gotta match what I'm gonna be able to give them, and of course we're gonna end up doing the loan because nobody's gonna do loans for a pass through. But that's the kind of service that we offer. Nice,
very, very nice. And if somebody is thinking about refining here, Harry, how long does it take that whole process to complete itself?
So if it was at the beginning of the year, our refinances were taking like 90, sometimes 120 days because we had so many applications. I would say right now it's about 30 days from start to finish for refinances, which is a great time,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, boom, that's in and out. All right, if somebody needs to get a hold of you, how can they go about doing that?
The best way would be either to shoot me an email, hstewart@newmarkcu.org, or you can give me a call direct, 815-744-6767. And if you want to apply online, you can just go to our website, just click mortgage loans, apply, and you'll be able to apply for our mortgage. Our system's pretty easy. It takes maybe about 10 minutes to apply. Okay.
Love it. Harry, as always, it has been a pleasure, my friend. Thank you very much for your time this morning.
Thanks, Scott. Always great talking with you.
All right,
we'll chat soon.
Absolutely. We certainly will. I'll give you a shout in just a little while. Harry Stewart, Newmark Credit Union, Vice President of Mortgage Lending. All right, now, here comes the time where you call 815-254-7300. I have a $25 Visa gift card, compliments of Newmark Credit Union. Caller number 1 on the Turk Furniture Studio line, and then we'll take the first correct caller. If that person doesn't win, then just keep them coming. What percent of homes in America are not or have not been refinanced? I gave you the number. I said it 3 times. 815-254-7300. Hi, good morning. You're on WJOL. Who's this?
This is John.
Hi, John. Where are you calling from today? Lockport. John, what percent of homes have not been refinanced?
70%.
Yeah, you got it exactly right. Nicely done, John. You've won yourself a $25 Visa gift card. Compliments of Newmark Credit Union. How about that?
That's great. Thanks.
That's beautiful. All right, just go to the Crest Hill location, show them your ID, and you will get a $25 Visa gift card. You can do it anytime after noon today or in the coming days. Okay, pal?
All right. Thanks.